We're the Glovers,
and
this is our
story. I'm Leah. This is my husband, Jonathan. We have two girls, Jada and Grace. One is 5, and the other is 1, just turned 1.
We were, in a stagnant place in our lives. We weren't really growing. We were kind of like in a repetitive cycle, and we couldn't get out of this rut. We were kind of in a stagnant area, and we were praying that God would make a shift and change things for us so that we would grow and we would, not only in our spiritual lives, but also in our marriage and in our finances. And we were expecting our first child as well. So when we came to APC, we really wanted to get involved and wanted to serve, but it was hard for us because we were new. We didn't really know anybody. We kind of just decided that, we're going to serve in the church, and God's calling us to serve in the church. And so we did. We started to serve, and then God was really moving in our lives and teaching us what it is to serve. And then we realized that, our lives were beginning to shift a little. It wasn't like everything was all good at that time, but God was beginning to make a shift, and we saw that. And then we got involved in small groups, and we didn't really want to go into small groups. I remember we were talking about it. We're like, no, we don't really want to do that. We're kind of like, we're good by ourselves. We don't really want to be a part of that. But God was putting it in our spirit that we need to be a part of a small group. And through that, we really began to really grow, I think. We really understood what it meant to tithe properly from our gross income, and God opened doors just with that alone. And then we really learned what it means to honor each other as a husband and wife, and the rewards from honoring each other. And we really began to grow, and God was really beginning to stretch us. And then we realized that we were no longer getting into that unhealthy cycle, that God was kind of moving us forward. And this was the first time that we actually saw our lives progressing and kind of going in the direction and not kind of taking one step forward and 2 steps back.
I think just staying connected to the people of Christ was really something like that helped us with even with our journey. And I think God always knew where we were going to be at what time, like even with the pandemic, like having people around that like just friendships and things like that we've gained being here in Brampton, and the support we've had, just being connected with the people of God, like-minded people. Those are things that have gotten us and God put them in our lives. So those are the things I would say that really helps us even with our family.
Yeah. And I just want to talk about when Pastor was preaching about rhythms, and how that's kind of God takes us through we got to be in rhythms, right? With our spiritual life, with our marriage, we have to be on the right rhythm. And we weren't on the right rhythm. We were off. We were really off. I got to bless Pastor because he spoke into our lives, and he didn't even really know us at the time. And he said some hard things, but they were true, that the Spirit put on his heart to say to us. And that kind of hit home. And last year, and even coming into this year, it's been the best year as far as for our family, for the direction of our family, for our lives, our spiritual growth. God has really moved us forward. We've never been in a better position than we are now in every area of our life. And God has been opening doors for us that we're every time God does something, we're like, wow, I cannot believe this is actually happening. God's favor. And it's just because we are in rhythm with God. We are in rhythm with our marriage, and we are aligned to what God has for our lives. So we just want to encourage everyone to just be involved, be connected, Even though sometimes God takes us on a journey, things don't happen right away, stick to it, and God will make a shift. God will change the atmosphere. God will make a way. And now when I look back 6 years ago and to where we are now, it's like, wow, look how far we come. And we just got to give all the glory to God. It's really helped us grow in many areas of our lives. And we've been able to see the blessing of God in our lives as well. So thank you.